What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Respect the Game podcast. My name is Edward, named after a great man, that being my pops. Shout out to my mother and my grandmother for helping raise me too. Yeah, man, not at full strength just yet, but nonetheless, me and my brother, we gonna do the 2-on-2 like we always do. Get into it like it's nothing to it but to do it.
Yes, sir. Shine Hard Izzo, man. Twitter, Instagram, Shine Hard Izzo. Surgical pics coming to a digital wallet near you. I know y'all definitely see the brim. You dig what I'm
Yes,
saying? But
sir. VIP in the building, man.
been saying more to come on that a little later.
Nah,
Let's
for
get
sure,
it.
man. This is like our first official pod of the new year. Uh deep midway here through February. Definitely had to take some time off, man. My granny, she passed away on me January 1st to start off the year. So haven't been being inconsistent just because life just threw a curveball at boys, man, and that's kind of why we kind of been out of the loop for a while dealing with that. Traveling back and forth from Atlanta to Houston, spent time with my grandmother, help her in hospice, and she got called home. But despite that, going through all the grieving and all the things that come with that, definitely in good spirits, I can say today. Thanks to all the support that I've been getting, family and friends, prayers, definitely, like I say, definitely been taking effect. And I'm in good spirits as we push forward to get this podcast back up and running on a normal, consistent basis. But yeah, man, anybody, um, I remember when I was speaking at the funeral, pastor, he had dropped a gem that I had never heard before. Like when somebody like passed away, people are like, oh, you lost your loved one or you lost them, so on and so forth. And pastor, he was saying to lose somebody would suggest you don't know where they at. But for all of us who are believers of Christ and all of us who believe to be absent from the body is to be present from the Lord, you didn't really lose nobody. You didn't really lose your loved one if you know where they're headed. And so, yeah, man, that really spoke to me. Anybody out there who are going through the grieving process of one of your loved ones passing away, crossing over into the other life, I hope I hope that is able to help you in knowing that if you are a believer, for those, and I know everybody not, but for who that can help, I pray and hope that it helps you. Um, but yeah, man, we probably missed a whole lot of conversations, but what we are going to pick up on in the beautiful sports world is the Super Bowl. Yeah, man, Super Bowl recap.
Big is the what?
Right, big as the what? The
Yeah.
Eagles, they defeat the Chiefs 40-22. The game in no way, shape, or form was close. Before the Chiefs actually got on the board, the Eagles had the Chiefs 34-0 late in the third before the Chiefs eventually got on the board, bringing a end to all of the three-peat possibility speculation for the Chiefs. Eagles by far was the better team on paper and throughout the season. They were supposed to win that game. They were supposed to not allow the Chiefs or Patrick Mahomes to be Patrick Mahomes. Um, but I know I had the Chiefs pick, rooting for D Hop to get him a ring before he retired. Feeling like he's
Who picked the Eagles?
that would be Sean Hart Izzo VIP prize pick status.
Uh, Whenever we do cue this up, I know you're a great man, and you'll have my video stating where why I thought the Eagles would come out victorious, and to speak to that directly. Just a little bit of word of advice to the betting public. Anytime you have a massive favorite, um, and you have media pundits, seemingly everybody and their mother are on one team, right? You can almost bet your bottom dollar that Vegas will not go out sad. I want you to really think and conjure that and really let that sizzle in your spirit, right? Because Vegas is not in the business of losing money. So even though the Chiefs got handed their hindquarters pretty convincingly, I was always of a sound mind and sound belief that, um, that Chiefs team, they were probably the worst, 15-2 team that you can see. And really, it should have probably been 16-1 that gave up that last game of the season. They didn't play any starters, right? But if you look at how Philadelphia is just built inside out, I don't. It was an interesting stat. I don't believe they blitzed one time. I think their first blitz came towards the end of the third quarter, which quite literally means they were able to get home with four down linemen, with not having to commit any extra bodies to the pass rush in order to get to Patrick Mahomes. So when you're able to get home with four and you can drop seven in coverage, man, I don't care who you are. Um, it's gonna be a very, very long day, man. It's gonna be a tough day, i.e., 2007 Patriots when they faced Michael Strahan and Justin Tuck, Freight Train Tuck, Swag Tuck. Uh, when they got demoralized within the Super Bowl. You can go on and on. Even more recently, 2019 Super Bowl with Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes, where the Buccaneers D line just more so kind of feasted uh, on the disembodying or the dismembering of that bruised up Chiefs O line that made it to the Super Bowl about 6 years ago. So man, the game actually it didn't go how I thought it would go, but I definitely knew Philly would handle their business. I just didn't know it would be in convincing fashion like that, man. So
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
man.
Speaking to what you said about Vegas not going outside, going into the Super Bowl, over 61%, or at least over 60% of the bets to win the Super Bowl were placed on the Chiefs. And you talk about Vegas not going outside.
Not at
Vegas
all.
did not go outside. So all the people who bet on the Chiefs money line, clearly they lost that bet. But yeah, big moments like that when the public is like hammering a heavy favorite, may not be a bad idea to bet the other way, be a contrarian and bet against the grain. Also speaking to the Eagles not blitzing, absolute tremendous triple salute to Vic, the Eagles defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio. Um, had
Yes.
Jalen Hurts and I ended up having a performance that he had on the offensive end with the three touchdowns, I would say get an MVP trophy to Vic. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful strategy because all year long it's just like you try to figure out like, okay, like when does the Chiefs luck run out? We understand Patrick Mahomes is great. How do they continuously uh find a way to win these one score possession games, right? And then I think I'm we had talked about this like and we was just like just parlay and just fellowshipping last week talking about just the matchup in terms of like having to um at least for the we was talking about the Chiefs and it's just like their run game has been non-existent in the playoffs. And coming out in that game and I seen this, they had threw the ball like five or six straight times before they handed it off. And I was like, okay, they've already made the conscious decision to be like, we're winning this game with it, we're putting the ball in Patrick Mahomes' hand. And it may not be them trying to make, that may not be about them trying to make Patrick a hero, as more so is this about like, we don't trust our run game or our offensive line isn't stout enough for us to really develop a run game. And I don't know if Vic Fangio was anticipating that, but for them to play bully ball, only rush forward and drop, like you say, drop those seven back in coverage, I think that was an immaculate game plan that played that. I will maybe argue that the Chiefs played into that game plan because like, and then at the
They
point of
got away from running the football so early, bro. I feel like early in the game, you could see it. Andy Reid was quite literally complicit with, you know what? we just gonna put the game in Patrick's hands early. We're
Empty
gonna let him make.
backfield, like not even alerting them to be like, look for the run. It's like empty backfield on some of those early possessions. And you just like, I know
I
he
think it.
Patrick Mahomes, but like, come on now. And real quick, and also like I was saying, like that playing into like the game plan for the Eagles because there's another stat too. They didn't blitz I believe there's been six instances in Super Bowl history where a team did not send a blitz, and those teams went on to win the Super Bowl. So only being able to rush forward is a recipe for success if you're a defensive team in the Super Bowl. Again, six teams in the NFL in Super Bowl history have not blitzed and only rushed their front four, and those teams have all won the Super Bowl. So you're 6-0 when you don't have to send a blitz in a Super Bowl game. And Vic Fangio definitely contributed to that this past Sunday and showing just how important it is to have dogs up front with Ford, with Carter, Sweat, and all of them guys. It was a masterpiece on the defense. Like before, I wouldn't have been able
Yeah,
to
man.
appreciate nothing like that. But like now, as I'm growing more, watching the game, doing the podcast, trying to understand and study everything more and more and more, complete masterpiece on defense, bro. Triple salute to like Vic Fangio and obviously the team. But
Shout
like,
out to Josh Sweat, Jalen Carter, and Brandon Graham, who's actually, it was his last game of his career. And what a way to go out on top. And he had actually tore his tricep or one of his biceps within I think that first or second quarter of the season, right? And for him to be able to come back and muster up enough strength to give it all he's got for that last hoorah, and for him to come out on top, man. And I don't think we've shown enough love to the Eagles as of yet, man. I want to point out a stat, man, which I feel like the Chiefs probably should have went with too. Man, the Eagles ran the ball 25 times with Saquon Barkley. And rightfully so, right? Saquon Barkley was a big engine and catalyst to help them get there. But as everybody saw, man, the Chiefs have a great run defense, right? And they were sold out on stopping Saquon. But what they didn't account for is that Jalen Hurts quite literally could beat you with his arm. And I don't know why they would think that, because a couple years back, he definitely, man, if that fumble doesn't go his way, and maybe a call or two isn't missed, it was really close to Jalen Hurts getting his first Super Bowl a couple years ago and really being the MVP of that Super Bowl, because he's really outplayed Patrick Mahomes in two Super Bowls now. So shout out to the H-Town legend that is Jalen Hurts,
oh,
on Channel View's finest, East Side's finest. Um, yeah,
Jalen
dog, it's
Jalen Hurts, talking about him now because I was great segue. Is Jalen Hurts now with this Super Bowl win a top five quarterback in the league? And though it may be easy to say yes, if anybody is going to say yes, where do you have him ranked in that top five?
I'm gonna go five.
The host with the most that blows the most smoke says number 5 as well.
All right, so I'm gonna throw these names out here and see if it's a consensus that
Yeah,
these
y'all smoking.
see
Y'all
if these
smoking. That's why. But go ahead.
Hey, I know who he is better than. I know who he is better than.
let's not get
So
us
you can already
started.
guess.
Oh,
Let's
Yeah,
not
Josh
get
Allen? Josh Allen?
nah, nigga, yo boy. We won't mention them
First,
bums on this
first of all,
podcast
I
if we
don't
don't
have
want
no
to.
boy. I don't have no
Yeah.
boy.
Oh, you don't have no boys now. Oh, come on, man.
No, hey, yeah,
All right.
I'll vouch for him, man. He ain't really been rocking with it, Dakota as a recent. So hey, man, I give him a little bit of slack on that.
I ain't giving them no slack on that. The Cowboys your team. You gonna ride with them, die with
All
them too.
right. Is this the consensus that if Jalen is at five, is this the consensus that this is the top four in no particular order? Mahomes, Burrow, Josh, Lamar.
Yes.
My
Some
five in
Right
order.
now, currently,
My,
yes.
my five in order based on, and I'm a
No
probably
bias.
still. I'm a still put, just because he's so accomplished, man. I can't not put Patrick at one still. I just can't. I can't. If you go off playoff success, he has literally been one of the best playoff quarterbacks in NFL history outside of Tom Brady. Quite literally. There's nobody been better those first 7, 8 years in the playoffs than Mahomes. So if we still giving off resume and longevity, I'm still going Mahomes 1, Lamar 2. I think Josh Allen got a Mickey Mouse MVP. They hung, man, damn, here you go. One of those, in my personal opinion. But I'm gonna go Pat 1, Lamar 2. Um, I'm gonna go Mickey Mouse 3. I'm gonna go Josh Allen 3. I'm gonna go Joe Burrow 4, and then I got Hurts 5, man. I got Hurts 5.
Only
And
be-
really, I might have Hurts 4 because it's got to be something. It's something to be said
bro, it's
about being a winner, bro, and
and two
having a
two
winning
Super
playoff
Bowl
record.
appearances. These are two Super Bowl appearances. You know what I'm saying? Allen don't got that. Lamar don't got that. Burrow got
Joe
one.
Burrow don't got 2
And
appearances.
he came back off of a very defeating season.
That's not my problem. It's
No,
not
I'm
And
my
saying
also
he
problem.
came
too,
off of a
and the
defeating
reason
season. For you to come off of the season he had last year, going into that year feeling like they were going to go back to the championship, they didn't even make it to the playoffs. So,
Right.
for him to bounce and then for them to bounce back, granted they had Saquon on the team, it's just like I had to give my hats off for Hurts for being that leader. Slowing down on the turnover percentage. Hey, man.
because
Absolutely.
the thing with Hurts that I think he kills like the whole like game manager narrative. Like I think he's a playmaker, right? In terms of a game changer. Because like everybody and their mama knew the game plan was, hey, force Jalen to beat you. And he did that with both arms
Convincingly.
and legs. Like he did it. Like it was no fluke about what he did. Like he made countless timely passes and he used his legs when you least expected it at times.
I
It,
feel like
it's
they slept on him, to be honest with you, man. I think they focused more on Saquon Barkley than Hurts. I think that was the
absolutely,
ideal game plan, even though
absolutely.
even though Hurts has hurt them in the past in the Super Bowl. I think they lost track and said, you know what, let's just focus on the guy who's a possible MVP. And
Hurts has hurt them. That's funny.
he has. I mean,
Nah, he
like
has.
you
You're
said,
right. I'm
three
just
touchdowns, one turnover was just by, I mean, divine intervention, if you would say. like I can't even fault him
honestly,
for that
yeah.
turnover.
And that pick he threw, ill advised. You got pressure right up the A gap, so you got a free blitz in your face. They don't slide to pick up the protection and the blitz there. So you have Jalen Hurts kind of throwing one up for grabs, inadvertently, in the first half. But
You
he
gotta
didn't
get out
let
the
that
system
he didn't let that rattle him, man. And the name of the game was, okay, if y'all gonna sell out to stop Saquon, I'm gonna have one-on-one with Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, and I am literally going to make you pay
every time.
every single time.
Every
Whether
single
that was
time.
Johan Dotson on a rail route first quarter up the sideline for a 40-yard dot, whether that was AJ Brown on an outbreaking what 7 yard out, right? Or excuse me, not even a 7 yard out. It was a shallow cross. They end up going for 15, 20 yards for a touchdown. And then you have the 50-yard dime on a rope to Devontae Smith, over the middle of the field again. They was getting bracketed, double team over the top. So we got one-on-one backside. Devontae, I like our chances. Come on.
Yeah,
And these are the results you get, right? So, I mean, hey,
yeah.
we
Jalen
can say
Hurts.
that go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, Jalen Hurts finishes with a 119.7 QBR, 17 for 22 passing, 221 passing yards with 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and then also accounting for the damage he does with his legs. 11 carries for 72 yards and 1 touchdown, amassing a total of 293 yards with 3 touchdowns. Uh, yeah, but I
The
will say,
way he
go ahead.
real quick, the way he ran, it was only 72 yards, you said?
Hmm.
But to the
Those
Chiefs,
are the
it
most
felt like
rushing yards by a
150.
quarterback in Super Bowl history, by the way. And he has both of those records.
But the way it felt to the Chiefs defense, I assure you, probably ask any one of them, it felt like 150 rushing yards.
Yeah, they were
Because
timely runs. It were timely runs.
very
Timeless
timely,
runners,
very
yo.
effective,
Yep.
very just, I mean, beautifully done.
Yeah,
Bravo.
you go through your progressions and your reads. You see it's not there. All right, well, let's pull out Ike and Mike and get up the field.
Yes, sir.
um, yeah, man. Yeah, that concludes talking about the overall game plan in the Super Bowl. Also too, I know it's like far-fetched, but like mark this down. The Eagles, with the way they presently constructed, could very much so go be like in a running for a possible three-peat. And I don't think,
Dynasty.
yeah, I don't think that's being talked about or addressed really when like that's a high possibility too. With everybody, I want to say majority of the key players are paid. Some of those guys on defense are relatively young. They could very much like I don't see why they're not a favorite coming into next season to
One
win.
person, AJ Brown. I feel like with the game plan that the Eagles had going into that game, which was the Mamba mentality, don't smirk, don't celebrate, don't do nothing until we have this secured. And for him to flare up the way he did in the middle of the game, granted he got a touchdown afterwards, I feel like his emotions are going to get the best of him very soon. And I'm not really trying to talk down, but I'm just seeing what I seen in the Super Bowl, man. I seen what I seen throughout the season, last couple of seasons. It's like I feel like that Eagles organization is going to get to a point where it's like, hey, man, like we're trying to be a dynasty, but if you keep acting like this and possibly, you know, being a black hole to the team, bro, we may have to trade you off or do something
I
about
think
that.
you do
That's
that
what I
if
see in the
they
near future
if they
as
if
far as
they
that dynasty
don't
go.
if they don't win, you do that. But because they're winning and he's a part of that winning nucleus, do what you want to do.
Yeah, man. I ain't too worried about AJ Brown griping about you know, that's the type of shit receivers do. They made it very clear what type of team they have. They're passionate. He wants to be involved, and rightfully so, man. He got one-on-one on the outside. Feed him, bro. That's the game plan. They selling out to stop Saquon. I should be getting some targets. So I'm not necessarily mad at that. But what I will tell you is I want to do a little devilish smirk and look at the camera like somebody else I know. Uh, I think something can be said when it has been reported that a certain artist of Black and Jewish descent, and if you really know your history, you really can just call him an outright Jew. If you know, you know. Can't be anti-Semitic if you're actually Semitic, but I'll digress there. It's something to be actual alarmed up me that you have a a, a a deal with when they collude with some of the biggest corporations in society to put you in a burial ground and to make an example out of you. I'm going to educate the audience. Aubrey Graham has an Apple Music deal that he signed a few years back, if our memory serves us correct. He also signed a new Universal Music Group deal about a year or two ago. Oh yeah, come back on camera. That's what I want to see. Yeah, it's very funny.
Hey, Dacious, back up some, bro, so you can your head kind of.
Very funny how if you go to Apple Music's Twitter account, they tweeted they not like us, and I quote, I might be off on this number, 40 times in one tweet while the halftime show is going on. And then when you have ESPN, and then when you have the NFL, along with a couple of other corporations, join in to the dogpiling and burial of Aubrey Graham on national TV. It's quite interesting. I don't even want to view this from the Kendrick lens because I thought Kendrick's halftime show was amazing. I thought it
Right.
embodied great. I thought it embodied great symbolism for Black America. Uh, I thought it was a call to action, not only politically but just culturally on how we can, band together and get certain goals accomplished, and just being cognizant of certain snares and traps that others, try to put in place for us. But I found it quite interesting that they quite literally banded together in order to seemingly teach one of the artists a lesson. Like, hey, you know, the machine, you didn't have any problem with the machine when it was on your side and it was bigging you up. But all of a sudden, you know, they say all is fair in love and war, and I would definitely consider this to be war. Come on, man. Not you suing. Come on, man. Not you getting in your feelings and making gifts like a bitch. Ain't you tired? You know what I mean? It just, I don't know, man. I thought it was I thought it was really interesting to see how active those corporations that I named, how they actively colluded in seemingly sending a big message saying, you know, hey man, you're not going to sue us. You're not going to countersue us. This is all legally within our right. We have every right under the, and that's one thing I will say about the Orange Man being back in office. I am a big proponent of the First Amendment of free speech, and he has definitely brought that back. If you don't know that free speech has been brought back, go look at Kanye's Twitter over the past 3 days. If it hasn't already gotten banned, you're welcome. That would give you a firm indicator that free speech is definitely back. But hey, man, belt to ass on a grand stage for a halftime show. And the only person that was able to do it, come on, man, Boogeyman himself. Crazy. I'm done with my monologue, man. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say after this.
You done,
Because
Decoding? Well, no. I mean, wasn't saying anything. I just said it was sounding like a lot of dick riding. That's all.
you know, it's funny that you use the phrase dick riding when I can recall when the battle was happening. Somebody was using two hands and wiping their mouth after these whack ass diss songs by Drizzy Drake Rogers himself was coming into the feed of the world, and how he was quite literally contradicting himself
I'm
on
glad you
track after
said that.
track.
So is it over yet for you guys or not?
Man,
Because you
this shit
said
bent over, nigga.
you
You
said,
can't tell.
if it's been over, why are we bringing this nigga up again?
What do you mean? The Super Bowl just happened, and he just
No. I'm
we
not talking about
already hold
Kendrick.
on. So we already had the
If we're done
funeral.
with the beef,
That
bro,
was just
why
the
are we talking
public.
about
That was just
Drake?
the
Why are we
so
talking
we had
about Drake
already
as
had
it
the
pertains to
processions.
Kendrick?
We had already did like our visual. We had already did the program. But like you know how sometimes like for funerals, like if a figure is big enough, sometimes like you'll just go like public with it and you'll broadcast it to the
Luka got
world.
a
You
haircut.
know, you had that one last one. Because you know, you had a stuff for like the privacy and the family and close friends, but then you had a big one like for the world to see. That was just a funeral for the world. That was just a
All
more
that for a drop of
private.
blood.
I mean, that was just a more public, you know, service for it. That's all that was, bro. That's all it
All that for a
was.
drop of blood.
All
All
right,
that for a drop of blood.
so here's where I want to go. Here's where I want to go. My like I had texted in the group chat. First watch Naked Eye at the service. Thought it was cool. Not as like captivating just off of first watch. Went back, watched it. Obviously, I know like all the streamers, YouTubers, and Harvard professors going to decode it. So I have a perspective off of a second watch and then like going back to rewatch it and being able to pause and rewind it, so on and so forth. But before I share that, Dacius, what are your thoughts on obviously your adversary and Kendrick Lamar and his halftime performance?
Bro, Kendrick Lamar is not an adversary. This beef, I'm not even when I say that this performance was ass, bro, I'm not saying that because he was in a beef with Drake.
Okay.
I could give two shits, bro. I've seen Janet Jackson. I've seen Michael Jackson. I've seen Bruno Mars. Seen all of them. Coldplay. You put his performance up against that, bro. Not top five. Sorry.
I
Was
agree, it's
his
not
voice
top five, but it
was
wasn't
his
bad.
voice was his voice control great? Him not having backup vocals to be able to actually rap? Yes. As you being a performer, did you check the boxes of being a performer? Yes. Was the performance good? No.
Why was the performance not good to you
It
specifically?
was basic.
Because he's not a Kendrick fan.
It
That's
was
why.
basic. I would have loved to hear. I would have loved to hear loyalty. I would have loved to hear drink. I would have loved to hear a lot of other stuff that you have. I would have loved to hear some stuff with TDE.
I
You got
understand.
some Black hippie stuff.
I mean, I
You
understand what you're
many
saying,
of
but
features that you could have brought people like, bro. You brought Scissor out, bro. If you on the GNX shit and that's what you're just presenting, the GNX shit, and not K.Dot and the GNX. Oh, okay, cool, bro. Yeah, yeah. This was just a stunt, right? It wasn't a performance. It was a stunt, right? And to that stunt, I say, yeah,
I
mediocre at
think
best.
I think you missed the stunt though. I think the stunt had little to do with Drake, but more to do with the actual country at hand more than Drake. Drake was a part of it,
Why is
yes,
everybody talking about Drake then?
because I mean that
Why
was
is
part of
nobody
it, and
talking
that's
about
the best.
America, bro?
That
Because
that's
that's the
what the
surface level piece that's gonna attract people to the actual
exactly.
performance thereof. Because people are surface level and they're gonna, I told you he's only up there just to do not like us.
Bro,
No,
if the
because it
performance
was,
was
and
good, nobody
again,
have to explain the performance. If the performance was good, nobody would have to explain why it's good. It would just be good. It'd be just a
that
general
is
consensus.
that is untrue. That's like saying, oh man, if the Matrix was a good movie, you shouldn't have to go back and explain it to people. Come on, everybody know the Matrix was a classic
That's
movie,
apples
but
and
you have to
oranges.
decode it because when things are great and when things pass the test of time, usually it's those projects, it's those events, it's those songs, it's those albums, it's those movies, it's these major works of art that you have to go back and, like you said, he had to go back and watch it twice. He couldn't
Right.
he couldn't
What the
go
fuck?
off first glance and reaction because it was so deep, because it
Right.
was
Because it
filled with
sucks.
so many gems. It was just like, you
No,
know
I
what?
gotta find something good in here.
If
Let me
I
go
if
back and
I
watch it.
pass
Maybe I
judgment
missed
too
it.
quick, I'll lose it. And then with me losing it, I'll lose sight of the actual bigger picture that he was trying to present to everybody. Because if you look at, because fuck Drake for a second, like I'm not even worried about that, bro. If you look at the actual performance, bro, he had a Squid Game theme on a prison yard, which he's done a lot of prison themes in regards to just black people being slaves to the system or being slaves to an idea. And it was a lot of rhetoric that went into that performance that spoke bigger than the nuance of Drake himself. Drake was a small cog in the machine. And I think, in my personal opinion, I think K.Dot hovered around Drake in that regard. And then he brought up the Black America aspect with having Samuel L. Jackson be Uncle Sam. My reason being for that is because Drake made a comment during the beef that says, "Why you always rapping like you trying to free the slaves?" And for me as a black man, that stuck with me because Drake, you claim to be black, or maybe you only claim to be black when it's convenient for you. I'll let you, be the bearer of that news on what you decide he does with that. But to me, as a black man himself, how could you even fix your lips to say that when you have a dad who's full black? When your dad's dad and when your dad's dad was probably incubated into slavery. It was just so tone deaf and such an ignorant and stupid fucking thing
It
to say.
wasn't, bro. You feel that
Hang
way.
on a
Kendrick
second, bro.
is
Hang
a
on, hang
hypocrite.
on. I'm arriving to the point. Let me make it. In my opinion, it was so tone deaf. It was so far from the reality that Drake and I live in. But it just showed me how far apart that Drake is from actually being a black man and living the plight of the black man. Because you don't get to do that. Unfortunately for Drake, you get to claim to be Jewish when it's convenient. You get to be black when it's convenient. You get to be Canadian, fam, and be your cheese, fam. You get to do all of that, fam. You all that lame ass shit. You know what I'm saying? You let somebody tell him when you in Atlanta, you know what I mean? When you in Houston, you sipping syrup and you doing all of this unbecoming things and you with the mob and you being a gangster. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't like my 40-year-olds to be trying to be a thug when you ain't never been a fucking thug ever in your life. It was
Who are
just
we
so far
talking
from
about again?
reality, bro. In my
Are
opinion,
we
it was
talking
just
about
so far
Kendrick?
from reality with his comments about the slave shit to where K.Dot had to really make an example out
We
of him and
back
be
at
like,
Drake.
just really put on a history lesson for bro for real.
We back at Drake.
Because I was
Hey,
talking
y'all notice
about the
y'all can't
Drake
stop.
coming,
Y'all can't
bro. I
stop
said
talking about
aside from it
Kendrick
being bigger than
without
Drake,
Drake.
I tried to pull the history element of it in regards to slave, which is why I feel like
Bro,
Kendrick
that was
went
a
with that
reach.
theme.
You reached over here and grabbed this and reached at the performance
I
and
don't
put
think
them
it's I
together.
don't think it's a reach, bro. When you actually have Uncle Sam being a black person when he's notoriously depicted as a white man, right? Because Uncle Sam is the proverbial. right? The name that we give the government when
Cool.
they are
Samuel Jackson like a
oppressing
coon
us.
ass nigga
But
or
now
some
that we
shit.
have a black face of it, and he's speaking from a certain perspective. If you see the monologue Samuel Jackson gave in between the performances, he was trying to send a message, bro. But
So you a
again,
blood or activist? You can't be both. You're a blood or activist. Which one? You're a Paru or you're an activist? Which one are you? Because you're a Paru when it's convenient for you, and you're an activist when it's convenient for you. That's what we saying, my nigga. You always rapping like you freeing the slaves, but you be on some gangster Paru shit. Come outside, they not like us. Bro, get the fuck out of here. Which which
that
which
nigga
which one you
has
gonna
man.
stand on?
I've always known him as an affiliate, but y'all,
That nigga has
Exactly.
never claimed to be a
Exactly.
Pyro, bro.
I have
Exactly.
no clue, bro. That's just my own
You talking about
perspective.
a
You want to be
I'm
you want to be a you
grab
want to
out
be
of
a
left
gangster.
field
You want
like
to be
this
a
dude
gangster
was
or
Barry Bonds in
activist.
the outfield. This dude just grabbed a Kendrick ain't even say nothing about gangs. I don't even
Do
know
you want to
how
be a gang? You want to be a gang affiliate, or you want to be an activist?
what for extra
he
say?
can't help where he grew up, bro. This man
What
grew
for
up
extra
in
say?
Compton,
Nigga,
California,
I know
literally in
plenty of
a
niggas who
blood
grew up in the
neighborhood.
hood and they are not gang affiliates.
But where he from? What for extra say?
They created gangs where he's
Where you
from, bro. What are
from?
you even
You over
talking
there with
about?
them? You one of them. Get to the
So
back.
it sounds like we're
Take your
okay
ass to
with
the
one
back.
person's hypocrisy, but we're not okay with another person's
He's
hypocrisy.
not parading games. I don't.
He's not.
When I listen to Kendrick Lamar, he's not telling me to go shoot up the corner and go sell crack, bro.
What
He's
is he
actually
telling you?
telling me how to make it out and how he's made it out his environment, bro. But anyway, you know
When?
that.
On what
But you,
song? What
but it's
song?
funny.
What
It's
song does
funny
Kendrick
for
have step by step to get out of the hood? What song?
the same song Drake got. Man, come on. That
Exactly.
the same ones that Drake got. Cause what do
Right.
Drake rap
Hustle.
about, bro? What do
Hustle.
Drake rap about as
Hustle.
opposed to fucking hoes
Hustle.
and being a womanizer and
Before
dating
rap, my
underage
last
girls
name
at
was my
16?
lifestyle. And when I visualize success, it looked like right now. You know who on that song?
Tell us,
I
bro,
just
because
want to
you know.
be. I just want to be. Right.
I'm just waiting on you to make a point.
That's not a.
That's not a great example at all,
That's
bro.
not
But
a. That's
again,
not. He has
you
Give me
like
let
he
one,
has
your
bro.
fandom for Drake
Not a
anyways.
great example, but I gave you
outweigh
one. Where's your example?
your moral
Where's your
compass
example of
because
Kendrick showing black people how to be better black people? What song does he have that? What
okay.
song?
I'll
Well,
say
he
that
has
one
a
week.
whole album, To Pimp a Butterfly. If you go listen to it, Good Kid,
And what
Mad
song
City.
is he
He's
talking
telling you
about
about
getting out of the
how
hood to Pimp a
I
Butterfly?
ain't gonna lie, bro. It's hard to understand you when you yelling, but I can't hear you that good. But I'm just saying, like, bro, Good Kid, Mad City is basically depicting his life and how he
No, give
got
me a
out of the
song. No,
hood
give
and
me a
his
song.
different
Give me a
stories.
song. Give me a
I'm not
song.
about to go down because you want to, huh? See, you can't pick out a specific, bro. If you go look at the themes of his albums and what Kendrick raps about on a daily
The
basis,
theme of
he
his
does
album.
not rap
I'm
about
talking about
he does
content.
not rap about hanging out with other niggas. He doesn't rap about doing explicit drugs. He doesn't rap about fucking hoes. He doesn't rap about tricking money off on hoes.
So when he
But
hit the
Drake
wrong
does
blunt, he
that,
wasn't hanging
bro.
out with niggas. When he hit the shenanigans, he wasn't hanging out with niggas.
What does Drake rap about? You talking
Getting
about
these
being
hoes,
successful. Nigga,
getting
that
this
was
money and getting these
15
hoes,
fucking years ago, nigga, when he was
getting these
20.
money and getting these
He's
hoes and
40,
getting over these
bro.
hoes and getting more
He's
hoes and getting some
40.
more money.
He's 40. He's 40 talking about fucking hoes
What
and
does that? What does
hanging
that have
out
to
with
do with anything?
niggas and
What does
being
that
in
have
the
to do with anything?
club and
What
wearing
does that
shit.
have to
Like,
do with
come on,
anything?
bro.
So a nigga 40 years, bro. I know a nigga 70 getting money and getting hoes
I
still.
don't care, bro. We talking about Kendrick Lamar and how he actually helps black people and how Drake don't make music. He just fucking tear. He just hop on whatever was
I'm
hot
pretty
and he
sure
rap
that Drake has
about
helped more
hot
black people than
topics at the
Kendrick could think
time, bro.
about.
We talk.
I'm
Hey, let
pretty
me
sure
ask you
that
this
Drake
today,
has
since as
helped
a
more
man,
black
right?
people than
Let
Kendrick
me
could
ask
think
you this
about.
today. I
I'm
got
sure
one
that
question and
Drake
I'm
has helped
done.
more black people than
I
Kendrick
got
has
one
thought
question and
about.
I'm done. I got
I'm
one
sure
question and I'm
Drake has
done.
helped more black people than Kendrick has thought
The
about.
person
See,
said he a
respect the
dated
game. This is what you
16-year-old,
need you
but
to understand.
I don't
I need
even
you to
count
understand
that
on
type of
this
shit funny,
podcast, you're
bro.
going to get a lot of bullshit and you're going to get some real shit.
We can stop with the.
You got
All
your
right, all
press.
right, all right, all right. Let's keep it
He
black. Let's
lost the
keep it
battle.
peace. Okay.
He lost.
Plain and
They still
simple.
press.
I have a point. Um, I feel like this was all a game to Kendrick, in my opinion.
For
To
sure.
stick on the Kendrick fact,
Yeah.
at least as far as regarding to the Drake issue, and I feel like he did that with the theme, with the the PlayStation controller. I feel like he also did it with the fact of, just like you said, he pointed out the fact of, like, I'm gonna attack more important issues rather than overly focus on the beef. And I think when he teased that, people often thought that he was saying that, like, oh, is he going to do it or is he not? It was more the fact of, is he going to really go into the fact of giving the people what they want? But
He
I feel like
didn't.
Kendrick just dressed it up this certain way to where it was like, you know what? I'm going to give y'all what y'all want without y'all knowing that I'm delivering y'all a certain message. And some people may disagree that, oh, if you kind of hit the message too much, it's like, well, that's what
No, there was no
that's
message.
sometimes what you got to do, man.
Sorry, Luka.
Hey. I ain't even on that kind of
Hey,
time.
but you know what's funny with that black piece?
There was
Because
no
obviously
message.
everything that me and you said has been funny. This nigga been laughing for the past 2 minutes straight. But what I find funny is a lot of psychologists say like one thing your body will do when you're trying to cope, like a
His
coping
laugh.
mechanism, is you typically you laugh in the face of, pretty situations that you wouldn't probably normally laugh at, so which would probably
That
explain the
nigga with
inadvertent
the
laughter
psychology.
that you hear.
But hey, to get back to the point though, I think he thought it was just. I think just from the get go, Kendrick always felt like this was supposed to be a regular rap battle. I feel like lines have been crossed, various reasons. Maybe Drake thought it was okay.
Oh, there go that name again.
You
There go that name
know,
again.
hey,
There go that name
relax. I'm not
again.
even that kind of time. I'm not even that kind of time with it.
There-
Um,
Okay, there's another thing right there, bro. You can't give me grace, bro. You can't show me grace, bro.
I ain't got no big. Hey. I'm trying to make my point. I'm not doing all
Hey,
that.
make your
Um,
point. Don't talk to me. Talk to the cat.
Thank you. But I just feel like he was just trying to get his point across of like, hey man, this is supposed to be a beef, rap beef. It got personal. This is what happens when it gets personal. And at the end of the day, it's all a game and the game is over. That's how I feel like that was his whole little thing about it.
It's
So,
not
and that's
over
why
yet. I
like the
won't
little
let it
smiles
die.
in between the videos and during the performances, it was like that little like, hey man, I'm messing with you, bro. Like I still don't like you possibly, but this ain't nothing that deep.
I had one of the things that I had wanted to talk about with the performance is just some of like all of decoding or whatever. Me personally, obviously, like Kendrick is always put forth the storytelling and the imagery of like blacks and where we came from, how we treated in America, so on and so forth.
Bullshit.
Uh, okay, I just wanna have my piece to say what I gotta say. Um, and
You know
so
why he got to do that, right? Because I have no leg to stand on in no argument. But he attacking everybody, but it's just
Hey,
like
You too
hey,
comfortable
hey,
speaking on
hey,
other men, bro.
let's all get along. Rodney King. Rodney
yeah.
King, baby.
And so
and you too comfortable speaking on pussy asshole niggas.
Wait.
I can't fuck with y'all. I can't.
I can speak
I
as
don't know
well.
if Kendrick can. You like how I did that black piece? You like that? I know
Hey,
you would like that.
Bro, he is trying to talk,
I know
man.
you
Y'all
like
being
that.
rude. Go
overwhooping.
ahead.
Overwhooping.
all right, I'm gonna just try to make my way through the crossfires here.
Good crossfire. I'm
But
dead.
Bitches all up in my business. Can't fuck with
but
y'all.
nah, so like my biggest thing, like I said, first watch, cool, not completely like blown away. Gotta watch it two, three times, try to decipher through like all the decoding and all of the uh various interpretations. I feel like uh for everybody in the world, obviously we know it has all of like the racial components to it and like how blacks treat how America treats blacks, the red, white, and blue country built off the backs of black people, the Duck One Life with Samuel, the Uncle Sam, all of those like racial undertones and like the hidden messaging, right? I believe in order for us to truly, at its essence, appreciate what Kendrick Lamar did to its fullest totality, I believe we need to hear from him tell us what each piece he constructed in that performance, what it means to him. So it won't be left up to interpretation and all these other different opinions and like, well, I think this because like how like we had mentioned like about Squid Games. Like I had seen some that was like the way the square, the X, and the circle like lit up was like a cheat code that was implemented for Grand Theft Auto. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's intriguing.
Oh, that's crazy. I ain't never think about it like that.
Right. And then so like and I haven't even heard like a lot of people talk about the wordings. Like people only talk about like the game over at the end that like you could visibly see like out in like the crowd. But it was another one like when Samuel was talking to like, yo, you being too ghetto, and he had played another song and then like it took a quick shot of like the stadium and like the wording was like this is it was like warning, like you're doing it again, or basically like nigga, you're getting out of line. And so like it was just so much like packed into like that 13-minute performance that like I believe Kendrick would be doing us a disservice if he doesn't like come out, do an interview and talk about like what it all embodied for him and what the clear, clean cut message he wanted people to get with that performance, as opposed to leaving it up to everybody else's interpretation.
To conjecture, can I riddle you this though, bro?
Go ahead.
Do you think perhaps with the state of hip hop, or with the state that it has been in over the most recent future, and I say recent future, like I'm gonna say like 5 to 10 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
People like to call it so much bubblegum rap and so much bullshit substance with things without substance that go and get paraded and get celebrated and get, heralded over, right? I don't know if Kendrick will ever come out and say exactly what these things are supposed to mean. And here's the reason why. The only reason I can logically think of, number one, he's never did it.
True.
And then number two, I think that's the very essence and point of it. He's literally trying to get people to think. How many times have you listened to some bullshit afterwards and it doesn't
It's not a
spark
substance. It's not
anything?
even anything you need to mentally process because it was of nothing.
It's nothing you need to process because you understood everything that he was trying to say. How many times, like, what has actual shock value, replay value? Like, damn, I need to go back and listen to that. I need to go back and read it. What actually does that today? And I will argue not a lot. I'm not saying that no music do it because I don't think that's true, right? A lot of music, I'll say most music doesn't do it. At least the ones that get paraded out to the public, right? For public consumption,
Yeah.
that doesn't have any think factor to it. So I just really think the biggest message of it all is to, bro,
I hear you.
use your brain, think, critically think.
Yes, I don't fully contest it. I understand where you're coming from, but like again, just me personally, I watch it, I
Right.
appreciate it, but I feel like there's another level of appreciation if he could offer the perspective of him actually being the author of this whole creation to be able, because like again, talking about just like the decoding and all the meanings, like you like what we possibly are seeing, it could just be on a mere surface level. But if he could suggest or land a thought of opinion and be like, this is what this meant to me, this is why I brought this or did this, I think it gives everybody over the course of period of time a true deeper appreciation for what he pulled off. Like as a performer, like pulling all that together, the choreography, the messaging, he could have easily been like, the hell with y'all, I can perform some whatever party songs, yada yada yada, and go about his business. So like a performer or an artist, like I appreciate like him being able to like put all that together. And you could argue like as rich as he is has become, like he still believes that like, yo, he's not like fuck you niggas, like I made it, like you know what I'm saying, like he's still like you say trying to force people to think and understand like, yo, this is how like we are being portrayed, or this is what's going on, so on and so forth. But
better yet, just like you just said, I think the point is we forget how big the Super Bowl is. It's a world thing.
So what his favorite rapper say? Big as the what?
No, we're not doing all that. Think about it though.
I'm just asking a question. Big as the what?
No, big as the Super Bowl, of course. But what I'm saying is, the point of what I'm saying is,
that's what he's saying.
When you have Samuel L. Jackson doing what he's doing, he's actually talking to people that don't listen to Kendrick Lamar. That's the point. They're actually going to understand. You see
Niggas
what I'm saying?
like him.
And I think that's
My
what the
brother
whole
in
actual
Christ.
point was. It was we're actually fans, bro. We listen to this music, we follow them, all that stuff. The Super Bowl is a stage where you actually see an artist you never heard of in your life. So this music that they're listening to is actually ghetto. It's actually this. It's actually that. You know what I'm saying? It's being perceived in a certain way where Samuel L. Jackson is actually giving you, like step by step of like, hey, whoa, isn't that a little ghetto? Oh, that is. Oh, see, that is ghetto. Little things like that.
But this is,
And I really hate to interrupt you about that, but that just came to my mind right now. It's like I
yeah,
really think
man.
like we as fans we do that a lot to where man that was all right. Like no, this is the Super Bowl. Some people have never listened to Kendrick Lamar. People have showed the videos of people not moving to Kendrick Lamar at all in the Super Bowl stadium because they never heard of him.
But I don't like. Yeah, I mean, you could say, people never heard of him. Like, I think you could say that about any and every artist that's been up there. I don't think that's just a Kendrick Lamar situation. Like, I feel like we can't get lost in like the clickbaity 30-second, like, oh, they wasn't dancing to Kendrick Lamar or whatever the case may be. You could do that for any artist. Like, it's the Super Bowl. People are lost in a wide variety of different things. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? But like again, that's why I want to hear Kendrick talk about this performance or whatever. Yeah, I get like, like all of the again what he was trying to portray and what we saw with, America and the black people in America. I get all of that. But like again, like Kendrick, like what goal were you hoping? Like who was this message for? Was this for your people or was this for like other Americans, white Americans? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I want to hear him talk about those questions. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so easy to just take the surface level of like what we saw. Like, I really want to be able to like pick his brain
I
and
don't think we're doing surface level analysis of it. I think we're trying to psychoanalyze it and go deeper and bigger picture with it, which is why, because it's so probing, because it's so multifaceted, you have an array of different questions, an array of different angles you can kind of come at it with. So it's just like you can really ask a few different questions from a few different sides of that perspective, in my opinion, which is why it kind of leaves you, like you stated, with more questions rather than answers. But I think that's the very thing because if you already know the answers to it, we probably talk about it the night of the Super Bowl and then we done, right? Like I can't remember a Super Bowl halftime show to where people were this interested in it after the fact. Now, granted, now if you get some surface level bullshit, right? You put some titties or some ass up there like Janet Titty popping out. Of course, niggas was talking about that years after because it's Janet Titty. A nigga ain't ever seen it, or at least we haven't, right? I don't know about y'all, but I hadn't seen it prior, so
yeah,
it was news.
wasn't privy to the Janet Titty.
Was you feel me? So it's just like because it leaves you with more questions than answers, it's pulverizing. It's like, damn, do we need to go back and listen to it? Even the fact that we even still talking about it is it's just it's calling
Since we've
people to
been doing
action, it's
the
calling people to think.
Yeah, since we've been doing the pod, I don't remember us ever like talking about a Super Bowl halftime show like to
We
this
don't because this shit ain't and this shit don't be nothing. It don't
yeah,
be no messaging in it. It just be a whole bunch of loud good. Oh, she sung good. Oh, you heard that? Oh, she
yeah,
sung my song that I heard 2 3 years. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Nah,
So
Yeah.
was
Then we
last
never
year's
talk about it
performance not
again.
better than this year's performance?
You said
bro.
what?
Was last year's performance at the halftime show
I
not
don't
better than
even
this year?
remember who.
I,
And I'm gonna be real with you. I don't really even
off
remember
the
who
top
was
of my
performing
head, gun to
last year.
my
Off the
head,
top of my head,
yeah, gun to my head off the top of my head.
wasn't 50 Cent?
Last year,
Didn't
I would
50
have been
Cent do
like,
something with Dr. Dre? I think Dr. Dre ended up bringing out a whole bunch of people, and
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
good. I thought the performance was good, but like, do I?
You don't even know who
And I
performed.
say the performance was good because Dr. Dre ended up bringing out 3 and 4 people, so it wasn't just a performance by Dr. Dre, right? It was Dr. Dre and friends, Dr. Dre with
So last
Eminem,
year
Dr.
we
Dre with
talked about the halftime show after because of who did it. This year we're talking about the halftime show after because who he beefed with.
That's not true.
Okay.
you know what, Dacius? I'm gonna
Who
shoot you.
performed? Who
I shoot
performed?
you.
Who performed at the halftime show last year?
I just told you.
Was it
I
Give me
Drake?
literally
one of
been
y'all
talking
tell me.
about it for a couple minutes. I
If
said
Give me
Dr.
one of
Dre
y'all tell
literally
me.
just brought out three and
if
four people.
if it's
It had to be
correct, I don't know if it
multifaceted.
was last year or the year before, but if it's correct that Dr. Dre and friends, that would be who? Dr. Dre, 50
50
Cent,
Cent, he brought
Eminem,
out
Kendrick
50 when he was
Lamar.
hanging upside down.
That was not last year.
Okay, well, I don't
That
know
just
who
proves
was
my
this
point
year.
to how lackluster it was, bro.
Yeah.
Was that the year before?
Yes,
The
I'm
last
saying
year's Super Bowl will be talked about longer.
Usher.
No. This one will because of Drake. No, this one will because of Drake. People will continue to talk about this performance because of Drake.
It was Usher.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Nobody gave a
yeah.
flying fuck.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Usher.
That's
But
actually not
no,
true.
It was Usher. Then it was Dre and Friends, and then it was The Weeknd. And out of them, honestly,
I think you're
it
going
was
back.
The Weeknd that kind of had got them all, in my opinion. Money,
So you thought the weekend was better than
look,
Bruno Mars?
I don't remember Bruno Mars.
Gotcha.
I could honestly be just
I
being
honestly
like,
don't,
I
bro. And to
recollect
be
these
honest,
biased. Like
halftime
I could
the
shows.
only
respectfully say
thing
I
I could possibly
recollect
be
this.
being biased, but from what I recollect, no.
I don't remember this one. Don't
but
remember this
I
one. Don't
will
remember
say
this one. Kendrick
this.
was great though.
I will say
I
this.
remember Lady Gaga.
Got it.
I
She
do
came from the
believe.
sky.
All right, let's. We don't care about the family trips. I will say this though. I do believe Kendrick Lamar is on that stage because he annihilated Drake. So I believe you're right in this, Sedacious. I don't think Kendrick Lamar is selected to be it like the halftime performer. If
And
he
I'm
is
gonna tell you
not,
why Kendrick Lamar was actually selected because Jay-Z don't fuck with Wayne. That's the only reason. Only
mm,
reason. Jay-Z don't fuck with Wayne. That's the only reason Kendrick did that
nah,
halftime show.
No, nigga, bring it a
nah.
step
All right.
closer. Jay-Z
All
don't
right.
fuck with Drake.
No, Jay-Z don't fuck with Wayne, and that's been a thing.
No, Jay-Z don't fuck with Drake.
So
And it's
what I'm
clear
saying
that
is
and
untrue.
it's
So what
very
I'm saying is
clear, and
untrue.
it's clear
So
that the
what I'm
niggas
saying is
that Drake
untrue.
have deals
So what
with,
I'm saying is
they don't
untrue.
fuck with him either.
So what I'm saying
I
is
don't
I
untrue.
don't
believe.
think
So
I
I'm
Wayne
believe
not.
he
do
fuck
fuck
with
with
Drake no
Jay-Z.
more.
What you're saying
Jay-Z fuck with Wayne. Wayne fuck with Jay-Z.
that can be true. I'm not going to
The
fight you.
live one has a
What I'm
point.
saying is I don't believe that to be the source reason as to why Kendrick is performing.
So y'all don't even remember the debate before he even was selected then. Y'all don't even know what was happening in the world before Kendrick was actually selected for the halftime. Y'all don't even know that part, right?
What happened? Were you talking about the fact that Wayne wasn't announced to
It,
be what you call it?
Bro, the
it,
reason
it
Wayne
doesn't
wasn't
matter.
picked to do the fucking Super Bowl, bro, is because he was literally just in New Orleans this past fall doing Essence Festival, not showing up to no rehearsals and coming leaned out. Bro, Wayne performances done went viral over the last 2 years. Bro, Wayne is a bullshit, dog shit performer, bro. And this is coming from one of the biggest Wayne fans ever. Lil Wayne is my favorite rapper ever to ever walk this earth. I would not go spend money to go see a Lil Wayne concert ever again. My last concert
Mm,
spent was at the Pavilion when
I
I was in
would.
ninth grade, when I was 14 years old, and he came out to the Pavilion and he had a whole bunch of guest artists and he was doing a Millie and he was doing the Carter 3. That was peak Wayne. I will never buy shows to a Lil Wayne. Bro, if you go watch a recent Wayne show over the last couple of years, bro, the nigga is flamboyant. He doesn't remember the lyrics to his songs. And bro, he has no breath control because you smoke weed all day and you do illicit drugs. And again, I'm not casting no judgment. You looking at somebody who used to. So you know what I'm saying? I don't want to cast no aspersions on any man for his wrongdoings or his shortcomings, but as it correlates directly to you being an artist and you being a profitable artist and selling tickets and having appeal and having entertainment value, you have none. If Lil Wayne would have got up there, we would have been pissed because he'd have fucked up a few lyrics to the song. Bro, he wouldn't have been lively. I'm talking about, bro, you know damn well you ain't gonna get Wayne to do a two-step. Wayne ain't got no songs that you could put a choreograph to. It would have been a whole bunch of meat holding pause, quite literally, and just a bunch of, you know what I'm saying, with nothing to show for it, bro. With quite
the
come on,
Oh
bro.
wow.
the other reason I know there was a
And
man.
that's real shit. And I love Wayne, bro. But that's them is facts. I've seen, bro, and it is not a pretty sight to see, bro. Him live performing. I don't know if you've seen him over the last few years, bro. I do. The boy Jay-Z wouldn't dare get Wayne up there. Not for the whole entire entirety of the Super Bowl. Maybe a cameo, nigga. Maybe we let you get a little verse off, nigga. But that is it. Yeah, knew you in your hometown or not, bro. Again, he was in hometown for Essence Fest, and he bombed Essence Fest. Go
Yeah.
do your research, bro. And this coming from a Wayne fan. I don't even want to sound like I'm bashing, bro, but I'm just calling a spade, bro. That shit was horrible, bro. That shit was horrible. Somebody who done went to a couple concerts. That shit was horrible.
Uh, yeah, nah. I was just also gonna add that I know earlier, Dacius, you were saying like why not none of his old songs. I believe it was more so a business strategy as he now has his own record label and playing those songs and profiting off of it financially, playing his own songs under his own label as opposed to songs that he recorded
Yeah, that's yeah,
belong
yeah.
to TDE.
Okay,
Uh,
give the fans what they want.
uh, yeah, we'll just take a hard turn off of that. We'll probably keep talking about it next week because I'm pretty sure more stuff is going to come out around it. But the
We'll only talk
Lakers,
about it because of Drake and Drake only.
Of course we will. Of course.
the
We ain't talking because of
Lakers,
Kendrick. Stop it.
Lakers and Mavs, trade Luka with the Lakers, Anthony Davis now with the I was supposed to say the Miami Dolphins. Where's my brain? With the Dallas Mavericks. Um,
Uh-oh.
what are y'all takeaways from this blockbuster trade?
Oh, we talked about this last week. I want to hear what y'all got to say. Hey, I heard Dallas won the trade or Dallas actually won out or something like that. Something along the lines of Dallas being better or something like that.
Yeah, Dallas is fried.
Yeah.
And
I'm
I,
gonna
and I
I'm gonna
believe they were fried before the
I'm
Anthony
gonna chalk it up
Davis.
to um Adam Silver gave the old wink to David Stern in the grave, man. To say, hey, I know I wasn't able to get Kobe Chris Paul back in the grip, but god damn it, if I can get LeBron Luka, you better know it. I think it was a much bigger than that. I do definitely think Dallas valued AD and his defensive prowess and him being able to dominate a game. But to trade a 25-year-old perennial first team all NBA player who averages 28, 7, and 8 is actually quite literally the dumbest thing you could have ever did. But I am grateful and thankful being a Lakers fan that he did get traded to La La Land. So now I will sit back and praise God for his many blessings and his many abundance and his many mercies that he's bestowed upon me. And it just set the Lakers up to be the Lakers again for the next 10, 15 years because you're gonna have an international star um at your beckoning call, right? You're gonna have, your bridge plan after LeBron James retires, right? And you're gonna have a real future. So it's just like, man, I love it, bro. I love it for the Lakers. I love it for the interim. I love it for the right now, and I definitely love it for down the road with larger implications when they're trying to win, post LeBron. But right now, um, good luck in a 7-game series, bro. Who you gonna double?
Um, I think the biggest loser in this trade was the Dallas Mavericks fans. They lost out on the future. They lost out on memories, future memories. They lost out on a hero. They lost out on a lot, and and
This
and, and
nigga
and the
ain't
way
Martin
they
Luther King Jr., man.
even uh,
Nigga
reacted
think
to
lost out
it.
on a hero. Who is this nigga? Superman?
Hey man,
Batman?
some heroes don't get taken out of position early enough to see that pain, and that fan base felt that pain. We never seen Kobe Bryant leave the Lakers. We never seen Magic Johnson leave the Lakers. We never seen Michael Jordan in his prime leave the Bulls. These are some
You
things
seen
that
him lead the
this is in
league
that
though.
caliber of a move. So, um, they were a bit dramatic. They held a Luka funeral, which honestly, man, you lose a franchise player like that with no other reason than the front office being petty. Um, you're gonna react that way. Texans fans, we know about that kind of pain. We didn't get that dramatic, but we know about that kind of pain. Losing Hopkins to Arizona and putting them in a exactly.
Reports have come back that we may be interested in a reunion. And I'm just like, man, if we don't go draft that other boy out of Ohio State and leave his old ass alone, and I love Hot, bro, but man, Anyway, I'm
But
sorry.
but no, man, like Houston knows that pain, man. But this is something that Dallas has to deal with. And I feel like honestly, they lost the loyalty of their fans, and that's just really gonna hurt them because Anthony Davis is not gonna do it. He tried to prove it, and in the same breath, he hurt himself. So,
It was a
you know,
non-contact injury in his defense, so it
but
wasn't like
literally, just like I said, in the same breath, just a breath, he hurt himself. Not a push, not a nudge, not a stumble.
and
He
I'm gonna
breathed and
give
hurt
Anthony
himself.
Davis some credit, bro. Over the last 3 seasons, bro, he's been one of the more available players in the league. To
To the
his
bench.
defense.
What did you just say?
I mean, if you're
Man,
not playing, you're in street clothes. Aren't you on
if
the
you
bench?
don't know the numbers and you just going off of hyperbole and you just watch TNT and you watch Charles Barkley fat ass call Anthony Davis street clothes and you don't actually go look up the number of games Anthony Davis has played over the last 3 years, then tell me that and respond with the sound
And he's
effect
been
like
more
that.
dependable than
Because you don't
LeBron.
know. Because you really
He's been
don't.
more dependable than LeBron James.
Because
That's not what the question was. I'm saying
yeah, I
over the
don't think
last
that's the
few
argument we want to
years,
go
he
down
has
because
played. He has played some. He has been one of the more available stars that the NBA has had to offer over the
but
last
has he
three
been
years.
available? Has he been available as far as like getting the job done?
Nigga, he made an All NBA team and an All Star team. What do you mean? Like I don't get it.
Dubs. You're playing with LeBron James, brother. Dubs, playoff appearances,
What do you
consistency
mean? They make the playoffs pretty much every year. They only haven't
every
made the
other year,
playoffs. They only missed the playoffs once, and then
twice.
I was to your fucking point. So what's the point?
I'm sorry, he's not good enough. I'm sorry, he's not available enough. As
Yeah.
far as being a winner, he's only had one solid
Go
a
look
year.
up go look up how many games Luka played and go look up how many games AD done played over the last 3 years. And I'll be sitting here
How many
waiting to
potential games
laugh.
do we have to
And
play?
I'll be sitting here waiting to
How
laugh.
many potential games do we have to play?
Compared to
And
Steph
don't
Curry,
give me that
compared to
potential
LeBron
shit.
That
James,
was
Give
the
me how
trade
many
for
compared
right
to
games
now.
he
You
done
traded
played
with
Mitchell,
over the
potential.
last 3 years. I promise
compared
you.
to KD,
What's the
compared to
argument
Devin
right
Booker.
now? What's the question?
AD
That
being
80 is the most
AD being
dependable.
available because he tried to call him street clothes and shit like he ain't available. Like, yeah, bro, he got hurt. He's been hurt this year due to the abductor and then the abdominal strain that he suffered a few weeks ago. But other than that, bro, other than that, the
I
nigga
would
has
say
been
this: the
available.
past few years, Anthony Davis has been
Has
healthy
been
for the
available, bro.
playoffs. When you want him the most in the playoffs, he's been available. I think that's what matters most. Whether or not they've been able to get the job done, that's not the focus at hand. It's about whether or not he's been available. He's been available in the playoffs the last couple of
Only
years.
time they lose is when they play the fucking Nuggets in the playoffs.
The
Only
game,
time they lose.
and guess what? Who we have to hold? The main star,
I don't
and
know
he's piss
nobody. What you
poor.
saying that like I haven't seen Jokic get locked up by nobody yet.
The Memphis,
Please put
the Timberwolves did.
who?
The Timberwolves did.
Who?
The Timberwolves. They
Go
knocked
look
them
at his
out.
numbers during that series. Fuck out of here talking
It
about
was
some
good.
locked up. What's locked up to you? This nigga still had
Him not
30,
being able to
12,
be a
and 8.
facilitator,
You talking about
absolutely. I
some locked
believe yeah,
up.
Jokic is
Who
locked
locked him
up.
up?
The team did, and shoot,
Pull up the numbers, please.
he has had his lowest percentage
And I
of
want you to read
assists
them off
against
for
that
the
team. That's
audience,
his
and you
most
tell
valuable
us
asset.
what locked up is.
His
I
Go
know.
read
I
go
will.
go read Jokic splits from that
But do
series.
you know what makes him so
Hang on,
magnificent? His
brother.
availability. He's a
I get you. I
facilitator.
get you.
That's what I'm
Go look
saying.
up.
If you
Go
take away
look,
his facilitate, he's a common dominant
brother.
big.
Go
He's
look
not
up at
the
what he was
MVP.
giving Gobert in those series,
That's
please. I
fine,
just want you.
but he's not the
Hold on.
piece
I
that you
know what
need
you're
him to
saying. That's
be.
fine, but I want you to actually hear the numbers.
But no, I'm talking
You,
about
Make
Anthony
sure you mention
Davis. Tell
those
him about
assist
Anthony
numbers as
Davis
well.
we
being
are, but I'm gonna
dependable,
make a point though. So
available.
that's just can you,
Make sure you mention
Poochie,
those
when you
assist
ready?
numbers, which he's known for, which
Poochie, when
makes
you
him
ready?
Jokic.
All right, the coast clear. All right.
Yes,
And mention those assist numbers in each one of those playoff games
I'm
for
pretty
sure.
sure he will, bro. Poochie, the numbers, please, brother.
Game one, 32 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists.
Win or loss,
They lost.
bet.
Game
Okay.
game two, 16 points, 16 rebounds, 8 assists. They lost.
Did they
Game
win or lose?
game
Bet.
game three, 24 points, 14 boards, 9 assists. They won.
Hmm.
Game
Finally.
game four,
It
35.
wasn't about the ones. You said he got locked up. He didn't get locked up. That was my point. It takes a
The
team.
point is he wasn't effective to beat them. Yes, he's okay, whatever. Numbers is fine. That's fine with numbers. You're gonna live off numbers, you're gonna live off dubs. Numbers are dubs.
That wasn't the
That's
question, bro.
effectiveness.
First off, the question was about Anthony Davis being available to affect the team, and then
Yes. Affect the team to win. Not for your numbers. Your numbers are
So
key.
go search
But to
who's been
affect
the
to
most
win.
available player the last 5 years.
Okay.
And Anthony Davis should be in the top 5.
He's been available, bro. That's all I've been trying to say. Anthony Davis has not been street closing again. But if you listen to bullshit, entertaining narratives from fat ass pundits like Charles Barkley, who actually it's quite clear that Charles Barkley does not watch basketball when he's not on TV. That's very clear.
The series went to 7. Jokic averaged 29, 11, and 8.
That's not getting locked up, bro.
But they did okay. Okay.
They lost in 7.
Yes, they might have lost, but that's like saying a nigga locked up Jordan when they lost the series, and you look back and be like, nigga, Jordan ain't never get no fucking locked up. They may have lost the series, but then it wasn't for a fact because of that nigga.
But what was the reason why?
What was
the reason why Denver would beat them? Didn't Jokic not have his best games?
I think
dominate?
No. I'm not trying to game. But in that series,
Jamal Murray ain't shit.
That's the common denominator. They figured out we can let Jokic do him. We just got to lock Jamal Murray.
And Jamal Murray get clamped religiously. Now go read Jamal Murray numbers. Go read his. Now this the laugh right here. Read them all because this shit funny. we got so mad at Jokic ain't that. What? That's crazy, bro.
So is Anthony Davis dependable, available?
Yes. The numbers will tell you over the last 4 to 5 years, he has been dependable.
That's what I need. That's what we need to research.
So why is the common narrative?
Outside of the 2022-2023 season, outside of that, he has been healthy and dependable in regards to playing an excess of over 65 plus games a year. He's been available to do that. And he's been available in the playoffs.
So you're saying this is a good trade?
I never said
it's a good trade for the Lakers.
I literally championed the Luka and said the Lakers won trade. But I did want to bring us a cause to pause and not us just shit on AD entirely as if he's just this unavailable nigga who never plays.
Time will tell.
The numbers. Pucci. Jamal's numbers.
Jamal Murray averaged 18, 4, and 4 in that series. And he had.
We go to AD's.
That sound like some mid-level exception type shit. Sound like some.
And he had 5 games in 7 games.
Numbers. To be
can
honest.
Can we go to the rate usage of Anthony Davis?
All right. Well, y'all keep that same energy for the rest of the year. Plain and simple.
Yeah, Jamal Murray, he had 5 games under 20 points in that series. That 7-game series, 5 of those games he had under 20 points.
No, I am. I'm gonna stand on it. I'm gonna be like, hey,
paying him
$100.
They paying Jamal Murray $150 million.
He had a nice run with the team. Bet. Because they got a solid team. He just gotta stay healthy. And everybody knows it.
Average 18.
They have a solid team in Dallas.
Rated usage.
If he's as available as you guys promote that he's going to be or has been, this should not be a problem, is what I'm saying.
Kyrie, I'm not sure Kyrie's contract, but if Kyrie decided to leave, that's what the dictionary.
They fucked, bro. They gotta sign Kyrie in the offseason, bro. If you're gonna have any semblance of a team, bro, you're gonna literally have to give Kyrie a big contract. And you're going to have to re-sign Anthony Davis, bro. You literally have to. You don't have any other options. But, I was saying the Lakers won the trade. There wasn't an argument to argue against that. The argument was when you tried to get off on AD as if this nigga played 20 games a year and on some fat Zion shit.
Did I say that?
And he don't. You tried to paint a picture as if he was just this unavailable figure, and all I'm saying is the nigga.
So who's been the most available the last 5 years?
Compared, like who you talking about? You just in general. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, bro, but I would love to say that probably Giannis has been probably one of the more available stars. Tatum has been one of the more available stars. And again, this is just guessing off the top of my head. Um, you don't hear too many Tatum injuries. I know Giannis is out with a calf right now, but
So to say he has been the most available, he would have to be top 10 in the last 3 years, you say?
I mean
Luka, Luka
that
done.
sounds like a
Luka has
base point.
played. Luka has played 290 games in the last 5 seasons. Anthony Davis games played last 5 seasons. How many did I say for Luka?
290.
291.
Okay, Anthony
291.
played 251 in the last 5 seasons.
Hmm.
That's not too far off, though.
That's not too far off from what I
Especially five
described. Because
seasons.
I did preface, I said that 2022-20 season where he was injured, a lot of it, that's where a lot of your games are coming from. But I brought that up, bro, to just tell you how comparable those numbers are. But just because, again, fat motherfuckers come on TNT who don't watch basketball will try to patrol a narrative out to the public as if Anthony Davis is just street clothes and he just never played. I just had to debunk that shit. Like, come on.
My
Because you don't make
perspective is
first
not from
team
that. It's
all
from my own
NBA by
perspective.
not playing games. So the fact that he had 40 less games with an actual serious injury the 2022-2023 season.
So he's there when you need him.
Thank you. That's
No,
all I'm
that's what
saying, bro.
he's
That's
there when you
all
need
I've
him.
been saying.
Heard.
So they should say the same thing, though.
AD's always there when you need him.
In the
Poochie
playoffs,
said
he
it in
ain't
the
been
playoffs.
unavailable in
Yeah,
the
just
Yeah,
said
yeah,
playoffs,
yeah.
that.
bro.
Yeah,
No,
just said that. He's always there when you
I
need
just
him.
I needed it because
Majority.
I felt like that most dependable in the league was a little far fetched, and I just needed the
That's
numbers
all
on
I'm
that.
saying.
And hey, I'm good.
I ain't
Hey,
say he was the most dependable. I'm just saying the
no,
game street clothes.
one of the
I
most, one of the
Hey,
most,
that's
and one
fine.
of the most took me off. One of the most, I'm like, wait a minute, man. Same league that
I
LeBron
ain't gonna
James is in.
lie. If you draw that back, if you scale it back 5 years and go 3 years, I think those numbers go up and they become way more comparable. If you go last 3 years instead of last five.
In
Okay, so
in a
do
playoff
we?
series, who are you really worried about getting hurt? Luka or freaking Anthony Davis? Let's just be real.
So this is the real question.
I ain't gonna
That's
lie.
Before
what
I
breaks
don't
when
know,
down
the
bro,
to.
trade
because
was
Luka
Like
made,
in
got hurt.
reality
And
and thinking
which
logically,
team automatically
like, who you
became
really gonna think will get
championship
hurt?
caliber with the trade? Do
Or
we
who's
feel
more
like Dallas
vulnerable?
automatically became championship caliber? Do we feel like LA automatically became championship caliber, or both teams became championship caliber with the trade?
I think they
That's
both
the real
did.
question.
I honestly
Dallas,
think they both did.
they're not no championship contender.
But
Not
it's
no
just like,
more.
Dallas went
They would.
healthy, I
all
believe,
right,
is a championship contender.
my point is, when Anthony Davis plays, you bite your nails. When Luka plays, you don't bite your nails as much. True or false? That's all. That's mainly what I was mainly saying. I apologize for them all available. That's my point, and that's how I look at it. I bite
Well,
my nails if I'm looking at Anthony Davis
in
play
your
basketball.
in your
Is he going
defense,
to
I
get
have
hurt
to
this
add.
game? Is this the game that's going to do it?
In your
I'm not
defense,
necessarily
I'll
saying he missed a
add.
ton of games. That's how I view him. When I see
But
Luka, I'm like, okay, he's going to play.
in your
If he gets
defense, I
hurt,
have to
I'm
add.
not overly surprised, but I know it can happen.
Luca has never been asked to shift positions, and Anthony Davis was asked to shift. That's
That
kind of
is
why
very
we
true.
saw the nail biting Anthony
That is
Davis.
very true because
And
he's not a five, bro.
is he?
But if
And
you
where is he
put him down
now?
there banging with the fives,
He's
then
gonna be a
obviously
four.
he's
He's
going
gonna
to
be a
get
four
more
in
wear
Dallas.
and tear on his
To
body.
who?
Anthony Davis
Daniel
has
Gafford
championed
and
on the
Lively.
table since 2020. He's saying, bro, get me a five. I do not want to play the five. I am a four. Get me a five. And what did
Yeah,
Rob
that's right.
Palinka do? He ignored him for 4.5 years.
I mean, you can't blame him though. You got a superstar that can play all five positions, and you got one nigga over here begging to stay in one position. It's
And
like, wait a
when I
minute.
say unavailable, it's not by like, oh, you just a brittle ass dude. It's like, no, bro, just the way things have come about, you know, in the position that you're in, brother, you're risky. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying, oh, you
Yeah.
just brittle glass. I'm not taking that route. I'm just saying, bro, like from past experiences, when you're in that position that you're in, it don't always end out the best.
the Lakers are more likely to win a championship with Luka quicker than the Mavericks will win a championship with Anthony Davis.
Without
I mean, I agree with that, bro. This nigga was just in the finals last year, so
would you kill me, my love? For Wakanda?
I'll
I
just say
fuck
this. Do we think LeBron James is better than Kyrie Irving in a vacuum as a player? Yes or no?
Of course. Of
Okay.
course.
Okay. So riddle me this. Healthy Luka, healthy LeBron.
Hey, bro.
Why can't that get back to can that not get to the finals?
That's
Them
gonna win a
Is
championship
Lakers
this year.
is the Lakers roster not comparable to that of the Dallas Mavericks today last year? I'm gonna ask you, as the team is presently constructed, if you go look at that finals team and then you go look at the Lakers presently constructed, are the Lakers not a better constructed team?
I see what you're doing there.
Man, come on.
I see what you're doing there.
Come on.
Their strengths outweigh their weakness for sure.
I
That's
will
what I'm saying.
say
I'm like, they weak and bro,
this
honestly,
this is
if
what makes
Luka
the
and
Lakers.
LeBron playing at that level, I like the Alex Lynn buyout acquisition because all you need is a big body. All you need is a motherfucker with 6 fouls.
I'm not. This is what I am going to say, and just being honest, because I know you're a Lakers fan. I don't think there's ever been an acquisition you didn't like from the Lakers.
Oh, me?
That's a fact.
Shit.
I
I'm
ain't
sorry.
gonna lie. I've hated a few acquisitions the Lakers has made. Please let us not go down the list of them hoes. I
Oh
have
yeah.
not been a fan of all the. First off, when we got Gabe Vincent, I hated the fuck out of that shit.
We're
Number
along the
one,
lines of
like
Russell
don't
Westbrook.
make me go down the list, bro. Please, please
We're
don't
along the
make me
lines
go
of
down the
Russell
list.
Westbrook and company.
I was not a big fan of the Russell Westbrook trade at all. I hated that shit. I hated it because Westbrook can't shoot, bro, and Braun needs spacing.
Braun was talking at the
I'm not the nigga who champ. Bro. Please go pull that tape, man. I'm not. First off, I ain't even a Westbrook fan, my nigga. So that don't even sound like some shit that I would say. That's number one, and that's no disrespect to Westbrook, but
I just remember it was a year when there was a plethora of trades that happened or pickups and whatnot. I remember that year was definitely a year. And I thought, Westbrook was part
when
of that.
have the
That's how I
Lakers
was.
made this little trade, bro? You
It
probably
was that
confused me
year.
with
Didn't they
somebody
have like
else,
a
bro. Like
gang?
I
I
haven't.
think I think it was that year where they had like a gang of trades, including Gabe Vincent. Was
It
it
was the year. It was the year we went to the conference finals and lost against the Nuggets. It was that year.
maybe? Yeah. I was about to say something.
All right, respectfully. Conference finals loss. What can you
Damn,
say?
bro. I'm like,
But no,
damn, bro. Shit, niggas mad at me for rooting them on in the
You brought the
finals.
hell out of
Damn.
me.
no, there's a Braun. I'm paraphrasing it, but Braun was talking earlier in this season, and they was just asking him about like keeping up the mileage and being able to have to produce so much, or why does he do so much on the court? And I feel like this was a slight to Anthony Davis. And paraphrasing, Braun was basically just like, until I feel like there's somebody on the team that can carry the load, I'm gonna have to continue doing what I'm doing. I felt like that was like that didn't go viral. I was reading between the lines, but he was basically saying until I feel like there's somebody equal enough to me that can compete like I compete or take over a game the way I can, I'm gonna have to keep dominating the games. I think having Luka, Braun is gonna be very comfortable sitting in the corner or sitting on the wing saying, "Let me know when you need me, Luka." I think that's what makes the Lakers dangerous. If you get a
You
fresh LeBron
scream?
in the fourth quarter,
You need to scream?
huh?
Luka? I was like, Luka, you need to scream? I, but that Luka Braun pick and roll last 5 minutes of the game is literally going to feed families. Like families are gonna come out of poverty because of that. Like it's literally gonna be
But
a
amongst this,
magical or spiritual situation.
Nico Harrison like shouldn't go unspoken of. Like that was a horrible move as a GM for the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, man, that's the same guy who misspelled Steph Curry's name in the Nike meeting in the pitch to try to get Steph to sign his endorsement deal with Nike. And as we all know, they had Steph's name incorrectly spelled wrong. Well, Nico Harrison was the facilitator of that meeting.
Yeah, bro.
So he has had his fair share of fumbles of players in a multitude and a bevy of different situations. So, Nico Harrison, we won't hang out too long, brother. You are a black man and it's Black History Month. but you made a very idiotic decision that will quite literally set black GMs back 10 to 15 years. And they will say, well, if that Nico Harrison brother, if you're anything like him, we don't want you anywhere near our organization. So, man, bro, quite literally, if Dallas don't win a championship this year, bro, it's going to be looked at as an immediate failure.
Yeah,
By the
And
way,
I'm not even giving it to
the
next year.
longer
Like,
Anthony
they
Davis
don't win
is
it this year.
the longer Anthony Davis is out, the more horrible that decision looks by day.
And the
by,
Lakers look so smart as if they got off AD at the right time.
Come
keep your
on.
head up, Jason Kidd. Man's been looking depressed for like the last week. Wholeheartedly depressed.
I
Every
would
game.
not be surprised.
He was beating
Yo,
the Boston Celtics and still looked depressed.
hold on,
By
y'all.
20.
Let me look
Well,
it up.
quit then, nigga. We ain't forcing you to still coach.
Y'all acting like losing the star players that easy.
I'm saying, nigga, coach the team you got. Crybaby ass nigga.
Nah, bro. If I'm J Kidd, I'm pissed you traded.
Dog. Dog.
I
Trey
ain't
Kobe.
saying you ain't
Trey
mad,
LeBron.
but what I am saying is, hey
Without
man,
his consent.
get over it.
Without your consent. Get over. Not
What
even hey, we about to make this move real quick.
Hey,
Just
you
straight
hey
up,
see,
man,
hey,
say,
now we
bro,
gotta
this
handle
my
you tried
today.
to
daddy.
drag
Nah,
Jason
man,
Kidd
you
under the
get
bus
getting
with him
old.
talking about I didn't really talk with him. We tend to think the same. Nah, nigga, we don't think the same. I ain't thinking trade Luka. Nigga.
I would have spazzed out. I would have just started choking that nigga out right there, nigga. I'd have had security come in and come get
And
me.
that's and that's what I'm saying. He's not mad at the trade. He's mad at the non-involvement for this caliber of a trade. Like
No,
you
that
at
nigga
least
mad at
told
the
me I'm about
trade.
to press the button. At least.
He involved me in trading Luka. I'm gonna tell you no. He mad that Luka gone.
Depressed, bro. He's past mad. How you be
I
up
took his
against the
job because of Luca, nigga. Not
how
because
you
of you.
you up 20 against Boston and they cut to you and your head is down. That is bad. 24, 23, 24 points. You're up and you just I was like, dang kid. Dang.
Brand new pseudo race. I could have bought it, but I just ran it.
I'm just trying to see.
Where you at, Sedacious?
Odessa.
Oh, this. Uh...
I believe this is I'm looking at here on Spot Track, looking at the contract. This appears to be Kyrie's last year on contract with the Dallas.
That would say they're gonna have to pay him.
I'm just saying, I'm just putting this out there. Don't be
Yeah.
surprised. Do not be surprised for
Yeah.
LeBron's farewell tour if he pairs back up with Kyrie and Kyrie goes to LA.
Beautiful people. This has been a great episode. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.